I was finishing dinner. But I'm here now.
Fat loots should be all the sustenance you need.
If only we could get some.
Yeah.
Hey, I have
all
this
of the cool stuff we've gotten has not gotten to me.
Well, I mean, we've got this cool spear
That's
thing
debatable.
that's kind of scary, right? That's cool.
Yeah, really great for a halfling rogue.
Yeah, like, is it public knowledge that you still have that thing?
Public with whom?
Valencio specifically.
I mean, no.
Because you've got your room at the Lecherous Priest. So you're not really, I guess, shacked up with any of the rest of the party, are you? Or Zatha was part of your contract arrangements, right? So he's actually working with you?
Except
he's
he
town.
wasn't with me when I had to renegotiate.
That's true.
Training.
Okay, Zatha. So while you were training, in however manner it was, you proved yourself to them, and for some reason they've sent one of their support staff out with you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if bodyguard is really like a support staff that a mercenary camp would send out with someone, but
it's totally support staff. What are you talking about?
But the person they sent out with you, her name is Lenura. She's a Kalamaran woman. She's a 0-level fighter. Essentially, they're sending her out into the world to see, what it's like, kind of a thing. She was been training as like a man-at-arms kind of thing. So you should, Ace, you should be able to see her character in the NPC, like in the PC area.
I can. Fancy.
Yeah, so you should also be able to control her whenever I add a token down.
Hilarious. She smells of bacon.
Yes. She's a glutton, so she's actually usually carrying bacon around with her. She used to be she was essentially a vagrant. Her husband was a warrior and he got killed, and she had nothing to do. So she basically was a bum for a few years until getting into like some brawl or something, and she basically decided to become a warrior, just like her husband, and she's been trying to train with people till now. And she's been training at this Kobar, and she's still 0 level. So 0 level is sort of like after 90% of your training has been done. It takes a while to get up to half level, and then finally to first level. So they're sending her out with a crazy man to see if she really wants to live the adventurer lifestyle or not. But she's supposed to come back in 2 months regardless.
Oh, she's gonna be long dead before then.
So Zatha and Lenura come back to Pibipar, and she is originally from Pibipar.
Interesting.
And she asks you questions about your adventuring party and things like that. I imagine you had some time to talk with her and get to know her during your stay there, and that's why they sent her with you.
Yeah, I guess so.
So she says she's excited to meet your group.
For now.
Well, we're gonna try and keep those rose-colored glasses as long as possible.
Just warn her about the elf.
So you come back into town.
She's totally gonna turn into my sugar mama.
A few weeks later.
See, warn her about the elf.
I think you're confused about how a sugar mama would work.
Yeah, she should probably be higher level than me, right?
Yeah.
Not level 0.
If she's level 0, she can't say no? What?
Oh dear. So I don't know if you who you go looking for first, but you quickly find out that that Rinnan is no longer at the Toad's Cellar. Or no, sorry, he was at the Raven's Nest. Sorry, he's no longer at the Raven's Nest. They pointedly do not tell you where he is now, but you can probably find Edic or Valencio because they're probably still staying wherever they were staying before.
Alright, I will go find them. I'll go look for Eddie.
Alright, we never really established where Edic or Valencio were staying, so, I mean, I would assume Edic is just at wherever he was before. And you find him at some, you know, not a super poor, but not an extravagant inn.
Middle of the road.
Yeah. And he's been basically spending his time, you know, kind of acting like a lost puppy around that night, hanging around, watching him practice and drill the men and stuff.
And reading.
Yes, and reading the holy book.
Yes.
So you probably actually find him reading when you encounter him in the, you know, just sitting outside of the inn that he's staying at. With some kids keep pestering him with questions. So Edic, you see Zatha coming towards you, being followed by a woman. I guess she's a fairly big woman, like Kalamar woman, sort of dirty reddish hair, wearing leather armor, and she's got like a spear on her back and a short sword at her side. It smells vaguely of bacon.
Oh, who doesn't? Ah, Zatha, you are not dead. Welcome back. And who is this?
Thank you. And just a friend.
Just a friend?
Lenura.
Oh, Nora, I am Adok. Pleased to meet you.
I would have totally asked her what he had done wrong, assuming that he had been arrested.
I'm giving Zatha the benefit of the doubt. That she is not being held here against her will.
She's like, greetings to you, my lord.
My lord. Not quite.
Where's a lord here? I don't see anyone.
Such a splendiferous day it is.
Whoa.
Wow, someone actually nice.
You saying Valencio's not nice?
She doesn't belong in this group. If she's nice.
Have you ever stopped and listened to Valencio? Like, really listen to Valencio? He's not nice. So, where have you been? Training, you said you were?
Yup.
Learned how to further your trade?
Indeed. I know all the things now.
All of them. Oh.
All of them.
Well, let's go find those other two fools.
Actually,
And
as
off we go.
As Edic and Valencio, I guess, are the two people that are actually where they said they were going to be. Surprisingly, at the same time Zatha gets there, there is a letter delivered to him.
To me?
To Edic.
No.
Oh, well, I take the letter. Conveniently take the letter. Was it delivered by like a little running page boy or something?
Sorry, what was that?
Who delivered it?
Oh yeah, just some page. Actually, it probably would be an official messenger from Messenger's Guild. So.
Do you tip those people?
Yeah, probably.
Give him 5 copper.
He's like, thank you. Tips his hat to you. Asks you to sign a receipt that it was received.
I sign it.
And then he takes off.
and I read the letter.
All right. First thing you will note is that there is a seal on the scroll.
Do I recognize the seal?
Do you have heraldry?
Is heraldry actually a skill?
I think there's a skill that can... I guess customs etiquette might do it.
Etiquette and customs is a proficiency.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, so do you have etiquette and manners for this area, or perhaps area knowledge?
I have my etiquette is in the Temple of Conflict.
Okay. Well, either way, you might recognize... okay, it looks familiar. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, I cracked that.
I guess you can roll under your intelligence and see.
Ooh. That would be a no.
Yeah, you know you've seen it before, but you're not sure where.
Oh, I cracked that bad boy open.
All right, you crack it open and you see it's a letter addressed to the 4 principal members of the party, and it is an invitation to meet with Lord Grandin.
I know Lord Grandin.
Earl of Falabar.
All right. Was he on that council of important guys?
Yes, he's one of the earls of the Archduchy of Pibapar. So it's an invitation to meet him for a business proposal, and lists a time and, later in the day at the Black Spoon.
All right. What stance did he take on the orcs? If I can remember that. Is he the one saying it's all full of crap, or the one?
No, he didn't. He talked a lot, but he didn't talk about anything of substance the whole time. He was basically kind of schmoozing with you guys.
Okay. Well, I look over to Zatha and say, it seems like we have an invitation with one of the lords tonight. It's for all of us.
Fancy.
Yeah.
You got your duds ready to go.
Yeah, I got fancy clothes. You did get them for me. I don't know where. It was quite nice of you to purchase these for me.
You are welcome. Just trying to help a guy out.
Mm-hmm. Totally ignoring the fact you stole them.
You don't know that.
I have no evidence.
You paid me for them. I made some money off of the transaction, so you know.
It's still illegal to sell stolen goods.
You don't know they were stolen. I bought them and then sold them to you at a markup, so I made money.
Yes, then they're fancy clothes. One must look the part. Now let's find those other two. I'm sure they're up to no good.
Ah, yes, I love the upkeep. Pay for it. Pay for it, halfling.
Well, then we go off to find Valencio, because Valencio, I think I know where he is.
I can't wait for her to abandon you because you're a jerk.
I'm just playing the charisma, man.
You're like charisma 5 or 6, aren't you?
I would have went up. I got a 6 now.
Woohoo!
I think you probably know where Rinnan is now. He's at the lecherous priest. It's still not a good bar, but it's a much better bar than the shithole that he was in originally.
Alright, well, if that's the case, I swing by the closest one of the two, grab them, and then go find the other one.
Okay. So basically, Renan, you're sitting in your room. The brewing of the day long done, and you're studying the spear.
Indeed.
As he usually does when he's alone.
Oh, yeah.
The long black spear. So you've been studying it for some time now, and I mean, it's not actually indestructible. If you wanted to destroy it, you could. The thing that was making it so powered back in Marito was because of a curse that was placed when it was put in the ground. So, I mean, It's an evil spear that was used in a curse. So that was what sort of amped up the juice there.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's just an evil spear.
So would I even need the gloves for it anymore?
You're pretty sure you would, yes.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Just touching someone with it would drain their life force.
Oh, man. See, I really kind of want to keep this thing.
And then there's a knock at your door.
Alright. I'll go open it, I suppose.
Okay, so you open the door, and Eddic is there. Eddic, you can see behind Ridden, just on the table in his room is a big evil spear.
And I'm probably still wearing the gloves.
I look at the spear, I look at Ridden, I look at the spear, I look at Ridden. I lean in and I say, "You should really dispose of that."
It's not that easy. It requires a lot of study to figure out how to get rid of these types of things.
I'm sure it does. Or you could give it to one of the friendly churches in this place. I'm sure they can destroy it. Either way, we've been summoned to a meeting tonight by a lord.
So you're saying I shouldn't bring the spear?
Don't bring it to the meeting, no. Like, you might walk past the wrong church with that, and they'll come out and smite your ass.
Potentially.
Just saying.
Potentially.
That'd be hilarious.
That spear's caused nothing but misery.
Yeah. Are there any churches specifically that would really have a strong desire to destroy this thing?
Well, I would imagine that at the Church to the Guardian would, just because it was used to, kill the person that they just sainted and, destroy an entire town dedicated to the Guardian, and it was done by Gorel slavers. Also...
Yeah, but the Guardian doesn't have a major temple here, right?
What's his face? Hoculus,
the gruff guy?
The guy who just looks like a skeleton. Riftmaster, yeah. Riftmaster probably would too, because they regularly actually make sacrifices of magic items, good, bad, whatever, to return the ambient magic back into the cosmos.
Yeah, it's a bitch to be a priest to those guys.
Interesting. What alignment are they?
I believe they're just neutral, yeah.
Do they have a temple here?
They would have a shrine, but not a major temple. I mean, the major temples are pretty much, if you look on your screen, it says right there.
Yeah, but I didn't know if any of them would have, like, a specific desire to destroy this thing. Like, the only one I could think of was...
the mule might?
Who might? The mule?
Let me just double check on that. Make sure I'm not thinking of the wrong god.
Yeah.
What, the Riftmaster? Yeah, it's the magic one.
No, like, of the major temples here, like, which one would be...
Yeah, the mule is the god of mathematics, science, invention, reasoning, and knowledge, so I don't know about that.
Probably not that one, then. But yeah, like, I guess the only other one would probably be the Courts of Justice, right? But I'm not even sure that they
in
would
theory,
care about it.
any good church would be, would love to get rid of it. destroying something like that would be good. I mean, they probably won't pay you for it or anything if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want that to be favor somehow. I may just keep a hold of it until I find some way of getting something out of getting rid of it.
Alright. So yeah, you see Zatha is also with Edek, along with some woman you've never met.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask her why he was arrested. This time.
What were you asking? If I was arrested?
She just looks puzzled.
Why you were arrested this time.
Here it comes. A law-abiding citizen.
Which I think is appropriate, but alright. Let's roll on a... I'm gonna grab my magic-y stuff.
Magic-y stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
like the wand and my spell components and spell book and stuff like that. I'll leave the spear here, but
Alright, and you guys head out to, there's a shrine, to the Eternal Lantern somewhere in here, and you find that's where Valencio's been shacked up. And he's pretty pleased to see all of you.
leaving the spear, taking the gloves, for the record.
Are you wearing the gloves?
No, but taking
Because they do look like skeleton hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you get you tell him what's up, and he's like, cool, let's do it. Just to facilitate things.
I guess when it gets closer to the appropriate hour, we all go to the... Where was it in the note?
It just says the Black Spoon.
The Black Spoon.
Yeah, none of you know what that is.
I asked Lenora. She's from Pipapar.
I thought Zatha told her she couldn't come, so now we're just screwed.
No, she can come. She's just like hanging out outside. She's got a like bodyguard.
Yeah, she didn't take area knowledge though.
Oh, I see. Well, I asked a local beggar.
You could do a glean information.
And how much? And what's the money?
For this, make it just a D10 copper.
All right, D10P, I assume.
Yeah.
Excellent. I head to the Middle District. And I told the party it's apparently a high-end or a hoity-toity restaurant, so all of you be on your best behavior. I
got my fancy boots on.
specifically eye Rinnan.
Good luck.
All right.
I am wearing my fancy clothes though, so that's something.
How fancy are they?
They're the fine clothes that we stole.
We bought them.
Yeah, sure. We paid for them. Let's see, where are they? Fine leather with fur trim outfit. That's totally what I'm wearing in town all the time.
Okay, so you're wearing like basically like fine leather clothing with like a fur trim around the collar and stuff.
Yeah. And my nice repaired undershirt.
Alright, so you all arrive at the Black Spoon at the announced time, and you find that there is, they ask if you have an appointment or reservation.
I should say we have an appointment with the Lord, and I show them the seal.
I say, oh yes, Lord Grandin's party, and they lead you in, and basically it's like a separate room, basically. And you go in and you see that Lord Grandin himself is there. You recognize him from the meeting of all the earls. There's a couple of guards as well, like in armor with their weapons, but they're sitting like standing back in the corners. And there's some other sort of nondescript man sitting there, really just like wolfing down some soup. Are you guys letting what's-her-face come into Lenora?
I say yes.
I have no problem.
I'll invite her in.
Master.
I think she should like wait outside, and we can, or if there's like another table she can sit at, because she's not like part of the party here. I'm afraid of her being a spy.
Oh yeah. Are you?
Oh, he's thinking ahead. There's no other table, so I guess she could just stay outside and keep watch.
Exactly. We'll get her something to eat later.
Don't you have to pay for her?
Probably.
Yeah, you have to cover like basic living expenses kind of stuff. She spent all her money on a shield, man.
Hey, shields aren't cheap.
Whoa. Living large.
So, the Earl, he greets you all and he tells you to sit down, and he basically orders a meal for everybody, and that they bring as you're waiting for your food to come in. There's ale is served. And basically, he kind of gets to the point after that. And he does he's one of these guys, like, he doesn't stand too much on formality. And he basically says he's been following your group. He says Kalamar told him about what you had done out at Fander's Keep. And he was quite impressed. And he thinks that something has happened now, and he could use a group such as yourselves to help him with a little matter.
At Fander's Keep?
No, not at Fander's Keep. Back in my earldom.
And what can we help you with, my lord?
Well, it says my family is partially in charge of a lot of the imports of fine wines in Pibipar. We have exclusive contracts with shippers from Shaitan Nadobio. They transport it here through caravans. And my cousin, Vanamir Falama, is in charge of our family's end of this shipping concern. He was shipping... He was actually accompanying a caravan coming through our earldom to Pibipar, and unfortunately the caravan never made it. Ordinarily, if a caravan went missing, there'd be a bit of an investigation, but it would just be a loss of coin. But with my cousin being missing as well, that's a different story. Survivors from the caravan said that it was attacked by bandits at night. 2 horsemen riding down anyone who tried to run. No one got a good look at them, so there's no way to know which gang they were from. Excuse me, jeez.
How many? Did they get numbers?
They were not sure how many. There was at least 2 that were on horseback, but sounded like perhaps a dozen at least.
What was in the caravan?
Caravan is not important. It was mostly wine and other sundries. I require my cousin back. I'm willing to pay you 100 silver pieces for the return of my cousin Vanamir, with an additional 100 silver piece bonus if he is returned alive. That is the long and the short of it. So what do you say? Care to make some real money?
I would, and I would like to negotiate that amount of money. Because we don't get out of bed for less than 150 for each of those. 150 if we get him back, an additional 150 if he's alive.
He looks quite crestfallen at your attitude. And he basically signals the serving staff, and they start taking away all the food.
Yeah.
He leans forward. He says, "My first inclination is to just tell you that I can find mercenaries in Pipipar. The mercenaries are a dime a dozen. I thought only to go to you because I had heard good things from Willamar. And now I'm not so certain you're the kind of group that I wish to deal with. So how about this? 100 silver with a bonus of 200 if he's alive."
What do you fellas think?
I mean, it's the same amount of money assuming he's alive.
Well, that's the hard part.
But it's incumbent on us to make sure that he's alive.
It sounds like you probably end up going to someone else if we kind of jerk him around a bit.
Alright, let's do it.
We agree to that, my lord. Has there been any ransom demands?
No. He tells you the attack took place just outside of the village of Erido. I would look there first. When you find Vanamir Falama or his corpse, bring him back here and you'll be paid your reward. And basically at that he stands up, grabs the guy that's been eating soup the entire time, and they both head out, leaving you sitting there with your ales.
Zatha, you gotta learn not to sass lords.
I was just trying to negotiate.
Lords are not businessmen. They are politicians. They want their way.
Well, everybody wants their way.
Not true. Merchants, you can negotiate. Lords, you cannot. It's part of the game. I don't like it. I know you don't like it, but you have to play it.
I'm just trying to get us paid. I don't hear you disappointed when I'm getting us more money.
Oh, I never say anything like that. I just said learn who to sass to get money.
I wasn't sassing, I was negotiating.
That's the same thing to a lord. Trust me.
Sounds like
Whatever.
sass.
Now let's finish our ale and leave before they bring us the bill. Just in case he walked out and left us with a bill to screw us.
Yeah, we out.
So, yeah, you head out, and Lenura's like, "So what happened?"
We got
have a job.
We gotta go rescue a nobleman.
Valencio's like, "Is there something wrong with you?"
WTF.
I cloak Brendan in the head and keep going.
Valencio's like, does anyone know where this village or whatever it is?
Not me.
I figured the knight did.
No.
The who?
The knight.
Knight.
The fighter.
Yeah, not tonight yet.
The wannabe knight.
That's better. Well, I pull up my map of the area and I take a look and see if I can find the town.
Your map of the area.
Yes. Is there a cartographer's guild around where I can look it up on a map?
Oh, most likely.
And that's what I do.
Need to get the atlas. Okay.
I definitely been reading it along because he needs to remember this stuff, as he's the only one that has like no direction.
Any kind of direction sense, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, the funny thing is, Eridu is not really on very many maps, because it's a pretty small town. Ironically, the the picture I saved here of a map doesn't actually show it. Give me one sec here. Okay, it is essentially find a nice bright color. And I don't know if you can see that.
Are you talking about the red and the green circle?
No,
The red square? Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oop. Okay. Over there. Oh, okay. That's actually pretty close.
yeah, 'cause
Where are we at?
you guys are essentially... Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like right there. That's like nothing.
Because usually what would happen is that when they come from Shite and Adobia, whoop, they would basically have to come down and, well, not through Korak, well, actually maybe partially, either get on the river here and go up, or they would take a shortcut through here and then take the river like that. And so they were taking the shortcut route, basically, to keep away from sometimes, because they would have to kind of go through the edge of the Dukamp swamp. And there's a chance that Korak patrols might tax them further.
I see. Interesting.
Because, I mean, in all of these countries, it's like this, but especially in Korak, they'll tax you for anything, man. Gotta keep that military funded.
Gotta get paid.
Man, I'm sad that I can't upload an image anywhere on Roll20.
I'm not.
But it's funny.
Oh god, what kind of image?
It's fine, you know. Just a normal image.
Quote unquote normal image.
And like it won't let me upload it to the forums either, which was how I was going to share it.
Really?
Yeah.
It must be especially nasty then.
No. Here, I wonder about this.
So you've basically got two possible ways. You can go over land, or you can take the water.
Land.
Alright, so you'll be going through hilly terrain.
Do we still have those horses?
We do. We never sold them.
Alright, try that.
Really?
Yeah,
You're a
we were
rapper
talking
now?
about my clothes, right?
I guess Majin ain't easy.
What?
I know something Celsius.
What?
That is exactly what I was picturing already. So I kept asking questions about it.
Zula, why in Hackmaster all mages have to become pimps?
It's part of the mentality, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
gotta
fourth
start getting
edition.
some gold chains now.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
4th edition, our two mages in our party ended up becoming pimps.
Well, they didn't become actual pimps. They
Actual
were just-
pimps, but yeah.
Yeah. They
Had
had
the
like
bouncing wagon with lights on the bottom and stuff. Yeah.
and the
Well,
friggin'
that's
what
actually-
are those rings called? You know that where it's got an entire word. Like it's all your fingers in it, like not like brass knuckles, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, so one said mage and the other said life.
I love it. It makes sense though. I can see it.
All right. You will probably have to go down a little bit, maybe to here to Dopacito or Doparito, I think it's called. I just put the thing down.
Reddit
But-
never goes down a little bit.
Oh man.
Otherwise, you guys would be basically climbing mountains to get there. And even though this is in like the heart of civilized Pipipar, the mountains tend to have, they're still mountains, it's still wilderness. You never know what the fuck you're gonna find there. There's orc tribes that live in the mountains, usually further to the west, but there's still some in these areas. There's, I don't think there's really giants out this far, but there might be ogres or, other nasty things.
Well, we've got cannon fodder now, and we don't care about Zatha's reputation, so I say we just go for it. By the way, how is she writing?
Damn, that's a good point.
Good question.
Oh, she can ride my horse, and I can follow along, and I can ride behind her.
No, you don't actually own a horse.
I thought I bought the horse, and that was how we were able to do it.
No, we went halvesies.
Okay.
So I'm still totally willing to honor the original bargain.
Which was?
You can ride on the horse with me.
So you want 3 of you on the horse now?
No, I'm just saying he's probably gonna have to buy her a horse. That's no sweat off my neck, but her neck. Sweat off my neck. Yeah. Not many people sweat on their necks. Well, that's not true.
Just keep going.
This little soliloquy was pretty hilarious. Oh, I gotta look up how much a horse is.
It's like 70 gold, silver, whatever. They're so expensive.
Well, if I can just sell the Sharon one. Well, she can walk, but then we'll have to go slow. Which I'm fine with, because I'm not going to buy her a horse.
So we're forced marching your poor hireling.
Well, she's a fighter. Like, she's got that skill.
I was actually going to say, as a 0 level fighter, does she have road march yet?
Nope.
Oh, Jesus.
She has laborer, though. She also does not have phalanx fighting, which is a key thing I figure I should mention.
How much are wagons? We do have 3 horses at this point. We could potentially sell a horse and get a wagon.
We still need something to pull the wagon.
Yeah, we would have 2 horses.
Can riding horses pull wagons? Like, don't you
Not-
need specific wagon type horses?
They can, just not as well.
Yeah, alright.
True.
Is this lake over here circled because that's where you're from, Zatha?
Let me see. The one in the box?
Yeah, because I thought it was
That-
more like up here.
I don't think I was from near a lake.
I thought that's where your whole ridiculous superstition came from.
Let me look. That was a long time ago.
I'm just trying to remember why that's already like circled.
That is a good question. I do not know. Where's my character from? Right here. Let's see what that is.
Isn't your character from Pico?
I never wrote down where my character is from. But I think it was just a superstition passed on from my parents.
Alright. I could have sworn we discussed it in some form somewhere, but...
Yeah. We could take a boat, but I wouldn't be happy about it. As long as I can see both sides of the river.
I mean, the Banadar River is a pretty big river, but I'm pretty sure you can still see both sides.
That box is from. That box is where I'm from.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I can't find where a wagon is.
Yeah, I'm trying to look that up too.
Two-wheeled wagon, 60 silver.
So that's cheaper than a horse.
That's true. I could just buy a wagon and hook it up to our horse.
No. Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
using more than half of the horse.
Well, you could sit in the wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we could all just be in the wagon.
I mean, he can pay out. Well, but then it's like 2/3 of the or 2/3 of the horse is what he's using. So I'd need an extra 1/6 of the horse as
My God.
I don't know if your character's smart enough to remember all of this.
He totally is. My character's
Uh-huh.
very smart. I think we should get a chariot.
A chariot. Funnily enough, I can afford one.
And what about small carts? Like, why would we not do a small cart?
Because I don't think you can hook a horse up to that.
Oh, is that like a pulling?
That's what a cart is, right, Zula?
Well, let's just officially look.
I don't see a description of those things anywhere.
Yeah. I could also just go and sell the horse, give you your part of the money back, buy a horse and a cart for me and my minion, and then we'd be fine.
She's like, minion.
Alright, if you want to do that, go for it.
Then you're just gonna walk.
Maybe. I don't know. I've actually been working for some decent money. While you were gone.
Enough to buy a horse, huh?
Yeah.
The standard cart is a two-wheeled wooden vehicle drawn by a single beast of burden, usually a horse. Carts are cheaply made and can be found across Tallinn. They are generally sold with a harness. It's probably more like 15 silver, though, than 5.
Oh, really? The carts are that cheap?
Well, yeah, it said 5 silver in the player's handbook.
But the carts are, like, pulled by horses and can... Interesting.
They're those
Is
two-wheel jobs, right?
Yeah. So then is a wagon more of, like, a place you can live?
This basic four-wheeled open vehicle is used for transporting heavy loads over land. There are usually 1 or 2 seats at the front of the wagon, which is otherwise devoid of decoration. 2-horse wagons are most common, but larger 4-horse wagons are available for extra heavy loads. Both versions come with the harness needed to pull it.
What is a 2-wheeled wagon then? Because there's a cart and a 2-wheeled wagon.
I love what we get bogged down in, for the record.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking in the goods and gear book, so it's a slightly different nomenclature for everything. Now, if you want me to, I could go fish out. There's a hack journal from a few years back that goes into, like, you know, cost by axle and, like, multiplicative effect of how much you could carry and, like, really gets crazy with it.
Not really. I would rather focus on other things rather than this.
They also have a dog cart.
What's a dog cart?
This small wooden 2-wheeled vehicle is designed to be drawn by a single medium dog or equivalent beast of burden. The dog cart can carry a small rider or an equivalent amount of cargo. Dogs are generally less reliable cart pullers than horses or mules.
That makes sense. See a squirrel and take off.
So what's it gonna be? Am I buying you out of our horse?
I would say you can get a cheap 2-wheel cart as opposed to wagon for 15 silver. That could be pulled by 1 horse.
And how many people could sit in the cart?
Probably 1 with some cart. Maybe like 2 people on their own.
A person and a halfling, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's still not enough for 3 people. So I'll just buy you out of the horse. Like, how much is the horse again? Riding horse, 75 silver. Okay, so I'll buy you out of the horse.
Well, you gotta pay me for the tack and harness and everything, too.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Because we also paid for a riding saddle, a halter, a saddlebags, saddle blanket, and a bit and a bridle.
Alright, add it all up.
Valencio's like, look, how much is the 4-wheel wagon again?
The 4-wheel wagon is... Where is it? Oh, I lost it. Oh, it's over this way. 125 silver.
And the other one was 60?
Was 60, yeah.
Because, I mean, like, look, if we divide it amongst the 4 of us, or even 5 of us, that's, like, only what, like, 10 each? He's not good at math.
Something like that, yeah. So, I mean, I guess we could do that, but we don't have anyone who knows how to drive a wagon. Wouldn't that be a helpful support staff person to have?
It would, if only we had known that before. When I was asking for suggestions on what type of support person should I get, and no one said a thing.
Oh, God.
Is Teamster in this a separate skill?
I think it's actually just a proficiency.
It's true, you did. But Tracker's boring.
I seem to remember this now. It's not called Teamster in here. It's called some other ridiculous thing.
And everything's above what's in the player's handbook price-wise, right?
Everything should be pretty much whatever the price is here.
Okay.
But you will have to roll to check for availability.
Oh yeah, I'm just calculating
for most
selling,
things, it's gonna
for
be high.
Celsius buying me out.
We had a riding saddle, right?
Yep.
So, bit and bridle.
Saddle blanket, halter, riding saddle.
We did do saddle.
So it was 85 silver, 18 copper, and 5 trade coins.
So 86.58 silver. So I would owe you.
Yeah, it just uses riding.
Oh, really?
43.
Okay.
Because it would be a driver / hackney. And the skill that their primary skill is riding.
Alright, let me look at the coin.
But you do need a proficiency, right?
No, it's just the skill.
Oh.
But you have to have riding, which I'm guessing the only one that has that is Eddie.
Yes.
But if you have that, then you could drive the wagon and all of us, for all of us. If we wanted to get a wagon.
Up to ya all. How many horses does a wagon take? 2? Or 1?
2 or 4.
Okay, so 2 in our case.
Yeah, so we could sell 1 horse and use the other 2 and then just get a wagon.
So if we sold the 1 horse and we got back 86.58, that would make the cost that we needed to invest roughly 40 silver apiece.
40 silver a piece?
Well, 40 silver total, yeah. And then we divide it by 5, because you have 2 people in your entourage.
Oh, so not 40 silver a piece.
No,